Hello everyone, it's SK95. Welcome back to more Sonic X Shadow Generations. Last time we finished off the last bit of the collection rooms in Shadow Generations, and now we are done with only a few things left to go. So, we have a list of achievements that you want to get, so that way you can reach 100% technical completion in the game. First achievement, Sonic Generations, get all S ranks in both Classic and Modern Sonic, as well as Shadow. So, the next step is to get all the challenge stages done in both versions of the games. You can do this easily. This also includes hard mode for Shadow Generations. Make special note of that. The next up is to get a blasted every single rocket piece in Shadow Generations, which I did last episode. Next up is, of course, Sonic and Modern Sonic and Classic Sonic. If you've done all the challenge stages and get all the red rings, you need to also get all skills. You also need to get every single collection piece. This includes your rescue chow that you need to also get for 100%. The next achievement you also need to get is the collection boxes for Shadow Generations, as well as get a good ranks on every one of those. However, the most important ones are the ones that you need to complete last. Well, I'm wondering, what the heck am I talking about? The last two achievements require you to fight Time Meter and Devil Doom. However, you need to not get hit once at all for both achievements to get both You Can't Touch This and Untouchable. Both of those achievements are the last achievements you can get in this game. So we're going to start with Sonic Generations. I'll see you at the Blasted Time Meter because that is going to be an annoying fight. You forgot to mention something? You do not need to do hard mode for either of them, so don't worry about it. Anyway, I'll see you all until I get a Blasted No Touch run. I will retry every time I get smacked. So, that's what's gonna happen. See you all in a second. Attempt number 1! By the way, I should mention, only Time Meter's attacks count being damaged. Nothing else. Protecting Shield also is not effective at affecting you at all.
Bruh.
Well, I can't do that now. Gotta restart. Attempt number 2! Before you ask, yes, you have to hear the commentary no matter what. At least I didn't put text on because that is distracting.
Is something the matter?
Homing shot.
Careful, Sonic! Switch. Go after it. Is something the matter? Watch it, Sonic! Is something the matter? Track you.
Be careful, Sonic! Sonic, watch out! It's a...
Nope. Attempt number 3. The one thing that kills it no matter what is always that blasted homing shot. I swear to literal chaos. Stop doing that. Can you stop with the cheapness already, Eggman? Come on. Getcha. Shut it, Eggman. 6 minutes. This took forever.
We'll end it! Burn!
Hopefully this counts as the non-touchable achievement. Nope, that did not count towards the achievement. I'm sad. So I failed on that third attempt because apparently I still got smacked. I don't remember getting smacked in the fight. I'll look back in the footage, I'll have to. But at the same time, it's obnoxious. You can't get smacked once at all, and it sucks. One of the other worst things of the fight is now this is attempt number 4, and I have to get no getting hit at all. I likely got hit by a dang blasted annoying thing I didn't recognize, and it sucks. The walls do not count of getting hit, so I don't think that's the case. Also, I remember the entire fight, for whatever reason, that blocking me from going right. I don't know why it locked me from going right, but it did. What the? You know what? I'm not complaining. That counted. Haha, gotcha, dumb Eggman. At least I start now on Time Eater. Attempt number 5. Kill me. Since I don't want to worry about my lives being obnoxious, hurry up, game. Thank you. 5 million years later, you successfully figured that out. Turn off challenge tries. I don't want to worry about lives for this because there's no point in worrying about it. Plus, I already failed that attempt, so attempt number 6. You know the worst part? When I look back at the footage of Shadow Generations for the final boss in that game, I realized the one smack I got in the beginning of the fight literally killed me from not getting the last untouchable achievement. I could have gotten the achievement on there, ironically enough. That's funny. Blasted can't touch this achievement is the most obnoxious achievement in the entire game. No reason. No wonder 2% only get that. Oh, nope. How do I even dodge that? It's literally impossible. It's literally impossible to dodge that attempt. Attack number 3. 8. Okay. Or was that 7? I think it was at 7. Ah. You can't dodge that. It's literally impossible. Why do you even bother? Attempt number 7 or 8. I think it's 8. This time I know it's 8. I hate Time Eater. It is the worst. Nope, that got hit. I swear, this boss is the worst fight in the game for a reason. 9. Why is it so easy to turn left, but not easy to turn right? I don't understand it. That makes no logical sense. Ugh, I forgot how much I hated a Time Eater fight. Okay, Modern, will you please turn right for once? No? Of course not. Whatever, first hit, we have about 2 more to go now. Wait for the final hit, which is guaranteed flash. I'm just gonna save myself the trouble.
Is something the
Looks
matter?
like a homing shot. Be careful, Sonic.
You can't stop him from smacking you. At least I remember. I'm doing regular generations. I don't know if I can actually do it in this one.
How about
Why?
careful, Sonic?
Please, get out of the way, Mr. Sonic.
Arm attack.
This stupid cylinder is awful. What is wrong with you, game?
Switch, go after it.
Alright, whatever.
How about
I avoided getting hit. That's all I care about.
Looks like a homing shot.
be careful, Sonic?
There's obvious attacks that get you hit, and the homing shot is one.
Eliminate more than that. To defeat us. Keep dodging or you'll get crushed. Eliminate more than that. To defeat
It's
us.
like that shot chasing you.
Watch it, Sonic.
The worst part is, his attacks are all random. So, yeah, not exactly fun or pleasant.
Looks like time energy is building up. Time's going to slow down.
I like how that attack literally does nothing but knocks away objects. I like the poor game design
The time
choice.
flow will be restored.
Incoming laser.
Where are you? There you go. Oh, you guys have to go slower. Nice try, game.
Is something the
Looks like a
matter?
homing shot.
Watch it, Sonic. Looks like time energy is building
No,
up.
not built up again. Go away. Cheap coward.
Time is going to slow down.
Ugh. Almost 30 minutes in this blasted fight, and I hate Time Eater. It's gonna take me several months.
It's attacking. Sonic, watch out! It's a warping heart attack!
Is something the matter? Keep dodging or you'll get crushed.
Is that the last hit I need?
Don't get too cocky yet.
Well, I hope.
We'll end it! Burn! Burn to ashes!
Sonic, combine your powers.
I don't know if this will count, but I hope. Oh, I'm saying through the credits again. Yes! Can't touch this! Only took 9 attempts. I hate that achievement. It's the most annoying one. Anyway, I'll cut ahead to Shadow Generations. Alright, so... First things first, technically speaking, it doesn't matter what moon type you're in. It does not matter in the slightest to get this done. Now, Double Doom, you need not get hit in the fight at all as well. However, it's a lot easier in this one. What do I mean by that? Well, I'll show you the fight. I'll just count the attempts. Attempt number 1! Honestly, this fight's much better than the stupid Time Eater fight. Making fun of the Time Eater? Ah, it's a Thursday already. Oh wait, yes.
Wouldn't surpass you.
There we go. Phase 2 now. Was gonna just be quiet for that because I know Doom Morph's gonna be easier than I usually do because you all know the strat that I typically pull off in this one anyway.
Perhaps I have underestimated your power. Perhaps I should actually start trying.
Hollow threats from a hollow monster. This isn't good.
I guess that line's automated because that makes no sense.
It's not a big deal.
I love this strat. Hitting me immediately to the head every time. Whoa! By the way, before you ask, move.
Reach! 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 Reach!
Okay. Okay. Run! I flew. Gotcha! Die dead. And now to the true form, Neo Devil Doom. Again. And back to Neo Devil Doom.
Splendid Shadow. Truly.
By the way, if you restart, it counts going all the way back, so be careful.
A testament to my bloodline.
So, yeah, you're going back to all the old phase of Devil Doom when you get
I
smacked,
am
so be
nothing.
careful.
I have surpassed you. Time to end this once and for all. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, those headeds, by the way, are the easiest opportunity to get smacked. Be careful.
Resistance is futile. We will be reborn. Surrender yourself.
Too easy.
Chaos control. Your future is already decided. We will be one.
I hope that was a good run. I really do. But it's a lot easier than Blasted Time Meter.
Ambition. I will not be stopped.
I think it's just a cutscene after this. Yes! We are done! Untouchable! Meanwhile, watch Shadow kill Black Doom again.
Shadow.
The twisted irony. I got an S rank. By the way, the ironic part, 9 times to beat Dead Time Meter with no damage at all. 1 time to beat Neo Devil Doom. Yeah, you can tell which one is actually a much more functional fight. Alright, so we're done with that. Let's go to the collection rooms for both games, starting with Sonic Generations. Now then, first things first, your collection room needs to look like this. All the Chow I collected. All artwork collected, so let's go through the artwork. 130 of them. Here we go. Concept art for Green Hill. One of the concept art actually ideas was Totem Pulse, which actually I would not have minded in the new game. 2D artwork for Green Hill, concept art. I do love that artwork though. I like this one in particular. Various rail grind ideas. I mean, it draws inspiration a lot from Rush. Chemical plant again. I didn't say that too long. That's the actual tube that transports the fluid. Sky Sanctuary was definitely concept-wise weird in the original. But you can turn on comments and turn off comments if you want to press A. Concept art for Sky Sanctuary. Yeah, it's a great stage, however, I have its own issues with it. Warp Pod's ideas were different in this, however, I think they took more inspiration from the original games rather than anything else. Environmental mechanics. Speed Highway, which is literally the Stage Adventure 1. Yeah. City Escape Important Original Sketches. This means City Escape's original sketches from back then. Yeah, definitely interesting to see all the old ideas back then. They had the whole idea of the whole Sonic from a helicopter plane immediately. Seaside Hill concept art. Honestly, pretty cool looking. Whales. Oh, too far. If you want to skip this portion of the video, the Shadow Generations, it's up on top of the screen right now. There's a lot of Seaside Hill concept art I've noticed. Like, there's a lot. That's right, this is a rough sketch for Sonic Heroes. Idea sketches for Sonic Heroes as well. Idea sketches for Sonic's design from the past. This is how they were upgrading his design from the Iwata artwork style. The first artwork, of course, on the left being classic Sonic, and the right one being the more modern adventure Sonic back then. One of the ideas back in Sonic Heroes is probably a Frozen Sonic idea, which is a weird idea, but it was present originally in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Ice Cap Zone in particular. Idea Sonic moveset back then, they used 2D Sonic more specifically just to make it easier to draw out. Ideas of Sonic's combo attack for Sonic Heroes, originally it was not going to be the team mechanic based setup, as you can plainly tell. It definitely shows a lot of Sonic's like concept as well as combat designs, which some of them were used later on. Sonic Heroes, which is more stage ideas. Oh boy, Crisis City. Everyone's favorite from the favorite Sonic game ever. Although concept-wise, Crisis City does look incredible, it just failed horribly because, you know, of 6. Yeah, pretty much. That is literally the beginning of the stage. Literally, not kidding. That leads to a half pipe that's a loading screen. Oh, funny. That's the stage 2 of the area where you go through the regular routes. Original concept art from Crisis City. These are all originals, by the way. They are very much original concept art, which is back then. So, yeah, a lot of concept art is still saved from back then and probably uploaded. Yeah, I definitely like the concept ideas that we see nowadays. Like, having ideas of like what the creators are actually going through to get concept-wise for stages is a really nice touch, and I like that. Building going on concept-wise. Although I'm glad they didn't put it in the high-speed section. Oh boy, I would not like that one. Lots of rails. Rooftop Run. Now, Rooftop Run is based in Dragonia, which is an area somewhere in France or Italy. Italy in particular, but that's besides the point. Weird Sonic, but okay, original concept art for every one of these. But later on, the game goes, the more original concept art are available because one thing, old concept art back then for Genesis era was hard to get. So that's why a lot of the concept art you see in the Genesis era was, well, more recent from the regular new stages. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the original concept art for Rooftop Run. However, that's more closer resembling how it actually looked in Unleashed. The back area of the stage actually looks reminiscent of where it was in Unleashed. Night and daytime. Originally, they were going to probably have a night and daytime section for the original concept art for Rooftop Run, which is Begonia. But that didn't make any sense because Warrock's not in it. Food service. My favorite. We're almost done, everyone. Don't worry. There's a bunch of concept art. Now, I think I'm just going to skip past the rest of them because Planet Wisp is honestly pretty interesting to look at, but I don't like the mechanical areas of Planet Wisp. I'll be honest, I don't really like them all that much. Dang it, man. Original concept art for Planet Wisp. Sure, Speedway had original concept art as well for that game, but it's concept art for the boss battle for that game. For this game in particular. It's just concept art for the regular stages, but it's not from the original game. No, no, no. That looked way too different. Concept art for Death Egg. Concept art for Final Rush, which is the Shadow stage where you fight Shadow. Concept art for the Egg Dragoon stage. Originally, it was going to try to include a lot of things from the area itself because the Egg Dragoon fight takes place skydiving normally in the original game, but instead we're in a half pipe because it's modern Sonic, so it becomes a chase boss. Chase boss is actually originated starting with Unleashed around the time for 3D Sonic for mainline, but technically speaking, it originally started out in Advance 2, where you actually have to chase the boss down. Yeah, there's a lot of different concept art as well as stages. Honestly, I love the aesthetic, but we didn't really interact with it at all in that stage, and that's kind of one of my disappointments for that. Concept art for the enemies in the game that got redesigns because they had to be updated to fidelity. Motorbug, Crab Meat, Spiny, which is from the second stage, Chemical Plant. Chemical Plant, Grabber, as you know fully well, obnoxious. Egg Robo from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Well, rather, 3 Knuckles. Yeah, it is my least favorite enemy for a reason. I don't really like it that much. Cop Speeder from Adventure 1. It's a interesting designed enemy. The Gun Hunters are typically the gun robots you see in Adventure 2. That's the original artwork, and this is the redesign. I do like the redesign a bit more. The Gun Beetles were the beetle enemies that they usually see in Sonic Adventure 2. As you see, it's definitely gotten an update fidelity. Spinners are enemies in the game. However, as you know fully well, Spinners were not in Heroes. No. Flappers were in Heroes. So Spinner enemies actually come from Sonic Unleashed. Technically speaking, as you saw a weird, like, going offwards, for whatever reason, they included Spinners in Heroes, but they weren't in Heroes. I guess this is also because they didn't have the original idea for, like, creating the enemy for that. Egg Pawns are traditional enemies from Heroes that remain a staple throughout the years. An iconic enemy. Egg Chaser from Sonic Unleashed. They were an enemy in that game that chased you, or you got chased by it. That you chase it and the other way around. Sorry. Sandworm, obnoxious enemy, no one likes it. Defect Robot concept art. Perfect Chaos redesign concept art. I do like the redesign, however, the original still tops it in Adventure 1. Egg Dragoon, the most dangerous Eggman robot in the series. Special Arts, some of the earliest takes on Sonic's design. That is original design, what he was supposed to look like back then. Special art from some early Sonic variations. 1 and 5 are recreated in this game. Yeah, kind of interesting. So the first one and the 5th one, as you see, is definitely recreated in the game, which is the actual original promos for the game. If you've seen the game, you've seen how Classic Sonic sometimes wags his finger instead, and then or other ready to go. Special art, some of the earlier takes for Sonic's design. It allows them to be a lot more expressive when you understand characters and how the concept art works for character designs. That's how it works in video games, as well as any other media pop culture area. Earliest takes of Dr. Eggman's design, which was back then Robotnik, but that was mostly Japan. The West called him Eggman. Enemy designs back then, yeah, there was an easy concept back then. Really, a lot of enemies back then were very simple. Really used for Sonic CD animation. If you've seen that animation, you'll know the intro cutscene for CD animation was probably one of the most popular animations at the time, and still is to this day. Art used for the Mega Drive manual. Well, manuals usually were back then how they created how to understand characters, and as well as how they interact in the environment. Sketches for Sonic CD, it's different back then, though. The initial sketches were different types of shields. We are different shield designs, however, we went for new designs later in the future. One of them did survive, which is the electric shield and the bubble shield, but nothing really else survived. We did not get some weird blocky shield, which is a regular shield, but we also got other shields as well. Different boss vehicle in Sonic CD. President's Chair. ME. Eggman Industries. Those were created about the time of Sonic CD. Special art from Rosie the Rascal back then in Sonic CD, the original Amy Rose. This was created around the time of the Sonic CD, which is the mech that Eggman was piloting trying to escape with the Time Stone. Boss concept art back then. Yes, Psychonaut Egg was a weird one. We had a lot of weird bosses in CD. This is my illustration of my characters for Tails. Tails back then was an original concept art for variations. Tails is a lot of expressions, and we do definitely enjoy his character. Visual expressions for Eggman, package illustration, Sonic the Hedgehog title screen animations, how they technically process the animation for the title screen. You can see the step-by-step illustrations where it goes from Sonic appearing on screen, moving his finger, and then moving his expression, somewhat cartoony, and then smirking at the camera. We're all done. That's all it for the Generation side, because music-wise, we have a lot. However, I'm going to pay special mention to I Am All of Me. Maybe I mentioned not to I Am All Me, but with Stopless. Now, we got this music no matter what in Shadow Generations. Now, I'm going to point something out. In the original game, you did not get with Stopless. You got Back to Back from Sonic Rush. Kind of weird. I don't know why they got rid of it, but hey, they did. Characters as well got changed as well in the original game. Sonic has these titles. A lot of them are similar, but Amy's is the most changed out of the one. You can actually tell different design-wise. Rouge's design was updated from the original, where her back was more exposed and allowed, well, a lot more freedom of movement for the wings. Not so here, the back was changed. Alright, Shadow Generations running off there. You can go to Clutch Room instantly by just pressing 3 on the map, on the menu buttons. You have access to pretty much everything. I'll be using this as a separate video, Gerald's Diary, but for now, technically speaking, Shadow's History is where you can start off. All these history ones talk about the games as well as the part 1s and part 2. Part 1 talks about the game originally, but part 2 talks about the ending of the game. As you see, technically talking about how, well, how he saved the world back then. Shadow the Hedgehog is technically not correct in the timeline. Technically speaking, it's Heroes Next, where Shadow still lost his memory. And it talks about the whole Android Saga crisis. He decided to put his past behind him during that game. Technically speaking, is a symbolic for the game. Shadow the Hedgehog is, well, him trying to move past his past. But this game instead tells him about the fact that you can accept your past outright. Shadow just doesn't accept it anymore. Sonic F6, this actually talks about how Shadow does not remember a darn thing, since they destroyed Solaris and returned back to normal. When it was wiped out in the end, Shadow lost all memory of encounters with Mephiles. Forces only talks about Shadow's side of the story, as well as the fact how Infinite was created. We all know fully well how that game was turned out. Now you can also check the characters. You can pick up the bike. Each one has their own characters. So, Shadow the Hedgehog. At first glance, Shadow looks like a grim version of Sonic. In fact, he is the ultimate life form created by Dr. Eggman's grandfather, Professor Gerald. Professor was a genius and developed Shadow with the ability of chaos control, allowing him to warp space-time. With the power of a Chaos Emerald, Shadow used any means necessary to achieve his goals. Omega. Omega is the last and strongest of Dr. Eggman's E-100 series of robots. He seeks revenge for being sealed away and unused. His rampage is meant to prove that he's the strongest of all. He is heavily armored with his massive arms, containing a wide variety of weapons that can cycle on to replace his hands. Funny enough, 80% of his body weight is actually all firearms. Big the cat. Froggy. A gentle giant with surprising hidden strength. He enjoys eating, sleeping, and fishing. He lives a carefree life in the great outdoors with his best friend Froggy. However, if his friends are in trouble, he'll do his best to help them out. Big in Adventure 1 was Goofy. For whatever reason, he had the highest power in the game, where you can launch that old man mannequin. Maria Robotnik. The character that is Shadow's light. Maria is the granddaughter of Professor Gerald, and the cousin of Dr. Eggman. She's plagued by chronic illness, which doesn't diminish her courage and loving heart. Sorry. But that doesn't diminish her courage and her loving heart. She was sent to the Ark for treatment and grew up alongside Shadow. She dreamed of one day being cured and returning to the Earth she loved and missed so much. However, she was lost to a tragedy, and now Shadow carries on her wish for the world. So, her disease was labeled as NIDS, for those who aren't familiar. It was a made-up disease in the Sonic games. However, the disease itself is technically one of the most horrifying ideas, considering the fact that your immune system cannot protect. Some days she has a lot of energy. Other days, she does not. Shadow was created to be a cure for her, however, it never happened. Professor Gerald Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius of all time and the creator of Shadow. Unlike his grandson, Dr. Eggman, he was driven by benevolent ambitions. He designed a space colony Ark and a variety of devices that could use the Chaos Emeralds. However, some of his top secret arrangements there. However, some of his top secret research went haywire, resulting in a catastrophe. This resulted in the military's invention, the tragic loss of Maria, and Gerald's arrest. Yeah, unfortunately, Gerald is a tragic character where he had great intentions. He was doing his best to save Maria as well as other people. Unfortunately, the circumstances caused him to lose everything. But I'm pretty sure we all blame Gunn for that, because back then, in any continuity, government always corrupt. I'm joking, to be honest. There are some cases back then where it was just like, Gunn is at fault, other people are at fault, whatever. Though no one can really agree on what exactly happened. I think it was something to do with the Biolizard, to be perfectly honest. Orbot and Cubot, Robot attendants to Dr. Eggman. He's intelligent, proper, and faithfully follows orders. However, his sarcasm gets on Eggman's nerves. He often has to correct the mistakes of his companion, Cubot. His original appearance was Sonic Unleashed. He was white in the original, so now he's redhead. A robot attendant Dr. Eggman. He's friendly and laid back, but not as bright as his counterpart. Obot. He's extremely open, lax, and innovative, and always waits to be given orders, which frustrates Dr. Eggman. You know, Eggort's bleh. You know, Orbot's always picking up his slack. It's go along very well. And that's it for that one. So let's go to the artwork. There's a lot of artwork back then. We've all seen all these artwork though. But we never got a really in-depth look at certain of them. I'm not going to go through all of them because we technically already saw all the artwork. Box arts, box arts, box arts, box arts, box arts. There's a lot of box art and character expressions. The more modern style is on the right, while the more older style was on the left. Except for the top right one. That one's old. You can tell what's original design and what's old design based on the amount of hue on their spines for Shadow. 3D, you cannot tell the difference, regardless. Although most of these do come from Shadow the Hedgehog, at least the top one and the top right one. The other ones come from somewhere else. Sonic X. 2D illustration, 3D. Sonic X. Sonic Rebels 2. Rebels, Shadow the Hedgehog. Color palettes. You can tell how color palettes work based on what designs they are. Technically speaking, all they did was technically just give Shadow golden fur with Super Shadow. Not really any changes design-wise. They use, however, the actual bottom parts of his air shoes to, well, submit the gold. .3D texture, Shadow, Super Shadow. Technically speaking, the last introduction of Super Shadow was, technically, Sonic of 6. That's the last time we saw Super Shadow. Technically speaking, you can also count the, well, non-regular games such as games like, you know, I think that's All-Stars Racing, but I don't remember what year it was. I'll show it on screen. A lot of the themes are here as well, including the old themes and new themes based around Sonic Frontiers. Now, the ones for Shadow starts up for his themes in the games were this one right here. However, I think we're done for now. Next time on Sonic X Shadow Generations, we will be reading Professor Gerald's diary and finally seeing what were his thoughts back then. See you all next time.